This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Thanks for starting your day with us. I'm Brittany Folkers. And topping headlines this morning, more drama at the Oregon Capitol. Why one senator is being asked to stay off the Senate floor. Plus, protesters take over the streets of downtown Portland, facing off with each other as police try to hold them at bay. But let's start things off with a check on your weekend forecast with Keely Chalmers. Good morning, Keely.
Good morning, Brittany. Yeah, it's going to be a gorgeous Sunday out there. Few clouds, but we'll see plenty of afternoon sunshine. Here is a look from our Rose City sky cam. Blue skies. It is clear. We're at 59 degrees out there right now. And your day planner is looking like this. We're going to warm up to about 71 by noon, warm, and then it's looking hot by this afternoon, 83 degrees by 5 o'clock. We do have some thunderstorms in the forecast. We'll talk about when and where those will roll in coming up.
All right, thanks so much, Keely. Well, Gresham police need help finding this missing 11-year-old boy. Gaelic Gray has not been seen, since he left his home just before 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. He lives in the area near Northeast Hood and Division. They believe he ran away from home, but again, he's just 11 years old. He's 5 feet 2 inches tall and weighs around 110 pounds. If you see him, call 911. The Oregon State Senate is back in session, but not without more drama. A prominent Republican senator has been kept off the Senate floor over concerns that he poses a threat. The senator in question is Brian Boquist. He was not on the Senate floor yesterday, but he was inside the Capitol building. You may remember he made international news by threatening Oregon State police right before the GOP walkout last week.
Send bachelors and come heavily armed. I'm not going to be a political prisoner in the state of Oregon.
Before that walkout, Boquist also told the Senate president on the floor, quote, "If you send the state police to get me, hell's coming to visit you personally." The Salem Reporter reported other senators asked that Boquist be kept off the floor while carrying a firearm, which he normally does. Senator Sarah Gelser said in a statement that her stance had nothing to do with his gun, but she says she didn't think it was appropriate for him to be there because an outside investigator determined he posed a credible threat of violence. A formal complaint was filed earlier this week against Boquist. That complaint should get a hearing in early July. And this turn of events is even more striking given what we heard earlier in the day. Senators told KGW things between Republicans and Democrats were tense but fixable. Take a listen.
It's been a very rough time, I'll be honest. It's been very hard on everyone. But we're professionals and we work for the people of Oregon. We take that very seriously.
How's the feeling? Any resentment?
Well, I think it's going to start slow, and over time, I think relationships are going to get better.
Clashes aside, senators have made big progress. They started the day with 130 bills, and they made it nearly halfway through before breaking yesterday. We're hearing reports that they're racing through what's left. The deadline for the session to end is midnight tonight, so we'll keep following the updates at the Capitol on air and online at kgw.com. Dueling protests between far-right and far-left groups turned ugly once again downtown. This video, tweeted out by Jim Ryan at the Oregonian, has been shared thousands upon thousands of times. The guy being pelted with eggs, silly string, and a white liquid is Andy Go. He attends and films these protests and says on Twitter he's hated by Antifa. Now, Portland police were out at these protests in full riot gear. They tell us they arrested 3 people. They released 2 of their mugshots. James Stocks and Maria DeHart were both charged with harassment. DeHart is charged with disorderly conduct. A third person, Gage Holopowski, is charged with assault 2 and assault on public safety officer. Police said one officer was punched in the arm, another was hit in the head with a projectile. 2 officers were pepper sprayed, and all of them are okay. Earlier in the day, organizers with Democratic Socialists of America said they hoped things stayed peaceful.
It's definitely scary, and it's a risk that I think those of us who are privileged enough to be able to put ourselves out on the front lines, it's a risk that we have to take to stand up for our community members who are more vulnerable.
The entire culture of Portland, they're anti the entire movement to try to change this country from a place where kids are put in cages and where we have mass patriarchy and we have mass incarceration. And this is a world that they want to continue. So we're here to stand up to that.
This started with the local far-right groups like the Proud Boys and Him Too announcing that they'd be in Portland to protest acts of violence that far-left groups have committed against them. Those groups, namely the Democratic Socialists of America and Antifa, say it's the other way around. They accuse the far-right groups of being racist. It is a solemn weekend for Portland's famous food scene. Time is nearly up for the Alder food cart pod. Owners have to be out by the end of the day today. The dinner scene was still bustling for those still there last night. A lot of cart owners have already picked up and moved out. Some are hoping Commissioner Chloe Udaley's idea to move them to North Park blocks comes to fruition. In the meantime, though, a lot of this equipment will go into storage. Owners say it's really sinking in.
But now when the time is here, it's kind of very, devastating and kind of sad to see everybody leave one after another, It's really kind of hits.
So much good food out there. Now the pod is being moved to make way for Portland's first five-star hotel, a Ritz-Carlton. It's expected to be completed in 2023. Changes at PDX are getting travelers home a little faster from the airport. At the same time, one sticking point near the terminal is getting people stuck in traffic jams just about every day. KGW's Catherine Cook has a look at both the improvements and challenges people can expect this summer.
It's a given. During peak travel hours,
here we go.
Get very busy, crazy, you see.
You're gonna run into this at the PDX cell phone waiting area.
It's getting worse every month.
Traffic's so bad, the airport's hired flaggers to help lead people out of the fray.
It's only one exit. It's everybody uses this exit. 7-Eleven, and this market here is going this way.
One exit for everyone. That's people waiting for loved ones to land, taxi cabs, and rideshare drivers who also have a holding lot here. One exit for all of them.
Scratching your head and trying to figure out a better way.
The Port of Portland's working on it, from flaggers to recalibrating traffic lights with the city's help.
It's not ideal. We know that there's congestion out there. We're making all of these little changes, and what we're looking at is a better, longer-term change. Can't really share the details of it now, but we hope to have that in place perhaps even as soon as August.
At the airport, a big change is already helping ease congestion for passengers at arrivals.
I literally just saw it. I was ordering a Lyft, and they said that the Lyft ride pickups just got easier.
First, Lyft and Uber each have their own pickup lanes now. Customers ordering rides from either company get numerical codes. They hop in line, give their code to the first available driver, and go.
It's a lot easier than having to wait for just one person.
And maybe faster, with up to 400 ride shares an hour going through PDX.
What that allows us to do is really keep traffic moving.
Back at the cell phone waiting area.
Just people honk the horn.
It's still slow going, but hopefully not for long.
One exit is not worth it.
Some interesting changes ahead. Now, according to Lyft, PDX is the first market in which they've rolled out this new system, and it will be permanent. They'll have brand ambassadors out there most of the summer, helping people understand how to use it. An anticipated delay for cherry growers in the Pacific Northwest actually didn't happen. Growers estimate this year's crop is expected to be well over 23 million boxes. The Yakima Herald reports growers there were concerned the harvest would begin late because of cold and snowy conditions earlier this year. However, that's not the case, and conditions in recent weeks have not hurt the outlook for crops.